Hey everyone, welcome back to Skill School. I'm ScytherGreen from Server 73, and today we're stirring up a storm with one of the most relentless epic skills in the game, Wind Rage. This skill doesn't wait for calm weather. Once it starts rolling, it turns every fight into a whirlwind of action, keeping the pressure on until the very end. Whether you're pushing through tough matchups or looking to keep your damage flowing non-stop, Wind Rage can really blow the odds in your favor. Let's see why this one's earned such a strong reputation on the battlefield. Wind Rage is a passive skill that activates automatically during battle. Every time your Immortal performs a normal attack, there is a chance for the skill to trigger and cause an additional normal attack to occur immediately after. At level 1, the activation rate starts at 16.5%. Each upgrade increases that rate until it reaches 55% at level 8. That means once fully leveled, just over half of your normal attacks will trigger an extra hit, doubling your damage potential in the best case. The key detail is that the extra strike from Wind Rage counts as a true normal attack. It can trigger other effects tied to normal attacks, such as combo, cleave, or assembly charge, and it also benefits from any buffs that increase physical damage or attack speed. However, Wind Rage cannot trigger itself. The additional hit will not activate another Wind Rage proc, preventing infinite loops. Even so, with a high activation rate, it adds a steady stream of extra attacks that scale well with fast Immortals and physical-focused builds. Since it has no cooldown and no reliance on energy, Wind Rage performs consistently throughout the entire battle, rewarding any setup that revolves around frequent normal attacks. Now, before you rush to unlock it, let's talk about costs. Wind Rage unlocks when your Tower of Knowledge reaches level 49, and costs 60 Wind Rage ability stones. You can get ability stones from the Legion of Frostborn store or the Trish shop, depending on your progress in the game. After unlocking it, Wind Rage uses soul crystals for upgrades. The cost increases with each level, so it's worth planning your spending before committing to a full upgrade. Taking the skill from level 1 all the way to level 8 costs a total of 60 ability stones and 143,400 soul crystals. That puts Wind Rage in the same cost range as other KvK skills like Berserker, which means it is a significant investment. However, since Wind Rage performs well in a wide variety of physical builds, it tends to be a much safer use of resources. I've put the full upgrade path on screen so you can see how the cost scales and plan your soul crystal usage accordingly. Once you've got it leveled, the next question is, who should actually use it? Wind Rage works best on Immortals who rely on fast, consistent normal attacks. Since it gives every hit a chance to trigger another one immediately, it fits perfectly into lineups that focus on physical pressure and attack speed. The two Immortals who make the best use of Wind Rage are Alexander the Great and Hannibal Barca. Alex's ultimate, Eternal Conquest, boosts both attack speed and normal attack damage. With his artifact equipped, those effects become passive for the entire fight, and he stops generating energy. Wind Rage fits into that design perfectly. Each extra attack it triggers benefits from Alex's constant damage and speed bonuses, letting him output a steady flow of high-powered strikes from start to finish. The faster he attacks, the more opportunities Wind Rage has to activate, making it one of the best offensive skills for his setup. Hannibal's ultimate, Howling Blast, increases his damage and adds cleave, causing normal attacks to strike nearby enemies. Once his artifact is equipped, that effect becomes passive, meaning his cleave hits apply from the start of the battle and last the entire time. Wind Rage adds even more value here, since every triggered attack also carries the cleave effect. This means Hannibal's bonus hits from Wind Rage spread damage to multiple targets, amplifying his area coverage and overall consistency. You can use Wind Rage on all physical damage dealers, but for most players, Alexander and Hannibal remain the clear choices. Both make full use of Wind Rage's simple strength, turning every swing into a chance for another hit, and keeping steady pressure on the enemy from the first second to the last. Now that we've covered who to run it on, let's look at what to pair it with. Wind Rage works with many physical skills, but it performs best when paired with others that also trigger from normal attacks. The two strongest partners are Assembly Charge and Cleave. Assembly Charge makes every normal attack a potential chain of hits. It has a 60% chance to deal damage to the target and two nearby enemies while also giving a short physical damage boost. When combined with Wind Rage, those extra hits happen more often since each bonus attack from Wind Rage can also trigger Assembly Charge. The two skills loop together, constantly stacking more damage and maintaining strong pressure across multiple enemies. Cleave follows a similar pattern but focuses purely on spreading damage. Every normal attack has a 75% chance to deal extra physical damage to nearby targets. Since Wind Rage adds extra normal attacks, you effectively gain more cleave procs as well. The result is a steady stream of splash damage that keeps chipping away at surrounding enemies without any need for timing or setup. Together, Wind Rage, Assembly Charge, and Cleave form one of the strongest passive combinations for physical teams. They scale naturally with attack speed, work on every normal hit, and keep damage flowing from start to finish. Once you've set up the combo, how do you know it's actually working? The easiest way to confirm that Wind Rage is active is by checking the damage tab in your battle report. It appears under the name Wind Fury, which represents the extra normal attacks triggered by the skill. In this example, Alex fought using Wind Rage, Assembly Charge, and Cleave. You can see Wind Fury listed as its own skill entry in the report, showing 5 activations that contributed about 11% of his total damage. Looking at the full breakdown, Wind Fury added over 3.7 million damage on top of his normal attacks, which reached 14.1 million. That means around 1 in 3 of Alex's attacks had a chance to trigger an extra hit, perfectly matching Wind Rage's expected activation rate. Each of those bonus hits also benefits from other skills like Assembly Charge and Cleave. When Wind Rage procs, the additional attack can activate both of those effects, creating a chain reaction where a single swing triggers multiple sources of damage. That's why Wind Rage is so effective in physical builds. It turns every attack into a chance to multiply your output. If you see Wind Fury listed in your report, that means Wind Rage is working correctly. The more attack speed your Immortal has, the more often it will appear, and the higher your total damage will climb over the course of the fight. Now that we've seen how Wind Rage performs, let's place it on the skill school tier list. Wind Rage earns a solid A tier for its reliability and consistency. It fits naturally into any physical lineup built around normal attacks, scaling with attack speed and benefiting from buffs that boost physical damage. It also pairs seamlessly with skills like Cleave and Assembly Charge, keeping the pressure steady throughout battle without relying on energy or cooldowns. The only reason it falls short of S tier is that it enhances existing strength rather than transforming an Immortal on its own. It performs best on fast attackers like Alexander and Hannibal, but feels less impactful on slower or skill-based Immortals. Even so, Wind Rage remains one of the most dependable and efficient skills for physical teams, straightforward, versatile, and consistently rewarding for aggressive playstyles. So that's Wind Rage. It's one of those skills that quietly works in the background, turning every normal attack into a chance for another hit and keeping your damage output flowing from start to finish. It fits naturally into any physical lineup and rewards Immortals built around speed and steady pressure. Whether you are using Alex, Hannibal, or building a custom frontline, Wind Rage delivers constant value without any setup or timing required. It is not flashy, but it is reliable, and in a game where consistency often wins fights, that reliability goes a long way. Now I want to hear from you. Have you used Wind Rage in your team, and how did it perform for you? Drop a comment below and let me know. If you found this helpful, give it a like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for more Skill School. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you in Norheim.